Welcome back, traders. Second portion of our show, Market Movers. And we got a lot of European banks moving down, Dennis.
European banks are getting taken out behind the woodshed today, Joel. Obviously, news with Italy overnight there has the broad market down, and the European banks are taking the brunt of it. ING, for instance, trading at $7.52 after closing at $8.61. That's down 13% right now. We've got Deutsche Bank down 3 points. We've got Credit Suisse down a couple of bucks. We've got RBS down 80 cents, trading 673 after closing at 740. Barclays trading 1109 after closing at 1205. So across the board, these things are down like 7 to 14%. So that's obviously what is driving. So it's going to be a financial-based sell-off. Once again, your financial stocks are definitely going to be relatively weak comparative to the rest of the market. So, but do you want to do any individual numbers on any of those?
I'm just going to make a couple general comments here. One, Dennis, when you're probably a little bit young for this, but do you ever remember Etch-a-Sketch when you were a kid?
Yeah, I remember Etch-a-Sketch.
Okay. Well, that's kind of what
you know. Actually, I guess that was a compliment. So
that's what these charts look like. Okay, with all the gaps and all the movements and all the stuff that's going on, that's what it kind of looks like. You can just kind of like draw lines wherever you want, and that's the daily range. So with these stocks, we've obviously had a huge rally. In most of these stocks, we've taken back over half of that rally. So you folks that, want to configure that number on each of these individual stocks, you can, because that's going to be your swing number to see if these things can go back up to those highs or whether or not they're going to go just right back down and test those October lows.
Yeah, pretty wild ride. Speaking of wild rides, Weight Watchers reported earnings there last night, WTW. I watched the stock go from the 71.84 close. It rallied on those numbers all the way, believe it or not, Joel, to 79.31. It traded 79.31 last night. And then I watched the whole thing sell off, give back the whole gain, and sell off 8 points the other way, down to 63.75. This Weight Watchers literally had an 18-point range last night after their earnings report. It's trading down now $65. So it's down 6 points. So I feel sorry for the guy that decided these earnings reports were good and bought it up 8 points last night or 7 points last night, because he really took some heat. Talk about these European banks taking on the chin. Definitely the people that were buying that Weight Watchers on that earnings report did not do well either. So, wow, that was a wild ride, Joel. What do you think about a chart on Weight Watchers?
I think that's a classic, example of market manipulation. I mean, just driving this thing up on absolutely no volume and then just taking it down on no volume. So I'll just use 66, looks like to be resistance now. We have the pre-market low at 63.25. I'd use that as support.
General Motors reporting earnings here this morning, and they're not good, Joel. GM trading down $1.80 right now, 23.20 after closing at 25.04. The 25 looked like big resistance. Obviously, it did hold to be big resistance. Looking at the support levels here, I know we've, back on the 20th, we were down here in this 22.5 area. And then on November 3rd, again, we got down below 23 again. So I think you'll find some pretty good support down at 22.5. Do you think we got any support in between the 23.20 and the 22.5, Joel?
Yeah, it looks like someone's protecting this $23 level. We've made a low at 23.11 not too long ago, and the highs on the short-term 5-minute chart just to be coming up slightly from there. So I'd use 23 as a swing number, and then that 22.50 as a good support. If we get a rally back up to 24, I'd expect some pretty good resistance.
We might as well do some numbers on Ford, too, because it'll probably have a sympathy move with GM, so symbol F. I'm looking at this $11. It's trading $11.26 right now. $11.61 is where it closed. If it was to continue to fall out, this $11 is absolutely enormous on the stock. I'm not sure if it has enough momentum to get there today, but that's kind of the level that I would be eyeing on Ford. What do you think about Ford, Joel?
Yeah, that's we're in agreement here. From starting back on November 1st, every low in this month so far is between 11.03 and 11.18. So obviously there's some accumulation going on at this $11 level. Break below there, we'll go down to 10.50. But never expect Ford to do what you think it's going to do.
Macy's reporting earnings here as well. It's trading $30.70 right now after closing at $32.16. Interesting enough, it made a new 52-week high there yesterday before the report at $32.67. But they're selling the stock off pretty fierce here. I look at $30. I think you got pretty decent support down there. I wouldn't say it's huge, but it's decent enough because psychological level we were topping out there a few months ago too. But we did cut through there a couple times in October too. So not that level is in stone here. So what do you think about Macy's, which is symbol M, Joel?
Yeah, I really don't. I see that was the lows back in early October. I really would put more credence here on the 29.46 level. That was low going back. Actually, that was a low just going back to the, November 3rd. Pre-market here, though, really seems to be some consolidation here at the 30.75 to 30.70 to 75 area. Looks like someone's trying to perhaps bring in those shorts. They got off above 33. So use that 30.70 as a swing number, and below that, I really don't have good support in the 29.46, and resistance coming back up will be at 31.36.
Adobe reporting earnings there last night as well. ADBE stock is trading down 10% right now, down $3 after closing at 30.42. It's trading 27.40. I was going to say 28 might provide some support. It's cut through that, so maybe that's resistance if we open up below there. Major support down at 26. I don't know if it's got enough gas. I mean, that thing's down $3 already. I don't know if enough gas to get down to 26 or not. But I like that $28 for a swing number, Joel.
Okay, for Adobe, I'm going to call 28.50 resistance after the stock bottomed out in the pre-market at 27.20. It just get one quick pop up to that 28.50 level, so I'll use that as resistance. Coming back on the downside, seems to be a buyer between the 27.20 and 27.25 level. So if we break below that, I don't have a whole lot until 25.70.
RL reporting earnings here as well, which is Ralph Lauren. It's trading down $10 right now, so Ralph Lauren is not having a good day either. It closed at $159.05, trading $149.50. $150. We bought them there, a couple of weeks ago. Just spiked down there bottom, and I know we had topped out there actually in October too, so this 150 is a big number, even from a psychological perspective. I definitely use that for my swing number. If we open above there, maybe that can hold. We open below there, maybe that provides some resistance. What do you think on Ralph Lauren, Joel?
Yeah, I mean, that'd be a pretty bold move there to, stick your head out at 150 and try and buy this thing, because below that, I don't see a whole heck of a lot to stop this thing until 147. So, if you want to take your chance there, you're going to take some heat. Coming back on the upside, I see 153 is a tough level to get through, and then 155.5.
Stock just starting to get beat up here right now. I haven't seen the headline, but FIO, which is Fusion IO, this is a wild stock. So this could almost be just market related too, because the stock is a very, very high beta, very high PE. Stock is trading at $34 right now after closing at $37.61. FIO is a symbol there. $35. I'd like that as a resistance now that we're trading at 34. Support on this thing's down at 30 though, so yeah. I'm a little bit scared to, nibble in here at 34. What do you think, Joel?
What the hell do they do?
I think it's solar, isn't it? I think it's solar. One second, give me a second. We're taking. We find out. They say computer hardware. Computer hardware, but I still think it's something to do with solar too. But computer hardware, I guess.
If it's computer hardware for solar firms, then shorted at any price. $30 is huge. Some lows just under that at 29.30 to 29.50. Then there's a huge gap out to 26. I think a pop up to 36, you'll find some pretty good sellers.
Well, I don't know. I could go on market movers. We could do this show for 5 hours.
Okay.
Today. Everything is moving. So it's really hard. We picked a few stocks out there for you that look like they're moving a little bit more relative to the market. There isn't a heck of a lot that's up today. I know Dean Foods, we could do a DF. It was trading up for the most of the morning. It did have earnings here as well. Maybe we could just close with Dean Foods. I like the $10 for support on this stock. It was breaking out there. So, the market's obviously pulling the stock back because it was trading up most of the morning with the earnings.
Well, people got to eat. So, Dean Foods, I will start coverage with a strong buy. We'll use $10 as support. Below that $10 level, I'm looking at the 940 to 959 area, which was the lows back on November 2nd and November 3rd. Just quick recap of the S&Ps. We did bust through, made a new go back slow down to 1237, getting a little pop off there. If you guys could take a look at the sheets on the site, you'll see the spotty lows, intraday, and Globex lows going down from 1236.50 to 1230. So you're going to get some violent pops out of there, so be prepared. That's our show for today, folks, and we'll be back with you tomorrow.